This video is day one of my series on the final push to lose the last 20 in my postpartum journey. I was a big pregnant girl. I gained about 60 pounds in pregnancy. I was 145 pounds before I got pregnant. I'm 154 pounds now. I'm really more comfortable at 135 pounds. So the plan is to kind of push to lose a total of 20 pounds, but we're going to kind of see how I feel as things go on. I don't know how my body's changed as I've lost weight. The main goal is just to fit into my old clothes so I don't have to buy new clothes. But that may not be a realistic goal if my hips have moved out, and has really changed my jean size. That might be something that we're dealing with. So we're going to kind of see how this plan goes. But I breastfed for, let's see, I've been done breastfeeding about 5 months now. And after I quit breastfeeding is when most of the weight has started to kind of come off. I feel like my hormones needed some time to level back out before my body wanted to let go of the weight. And so I feel like we're in a really good position to lose the weight now. So I've been doing a lot of research on the best program that I should do. I'm no stranger to a weight loss program and to working out. I tried them a lot. I've tried keto, I've tried paleo, I've tried all of the things. I enjoy trying different things to see how my body reacts to it. So I've been doing a lot of research to try to find the best program for where I'm at and my goals for right now. One of the people that I have researched is Stacy Sims. She is the leading researcher in women's fitness. So she has talked a lot about how not to treat women as miniature men. And so she has things like women shouldn't be working out fasted. So I'm going to make sure that I have a little bit of protein before my workout and a little bit after. She also talks about not overdoing cardio for women. Our bodies will go into kind of survival mode really fast. And so she talks about how to make sure that we stay in a weight loss thing and not to put too much stress on our bodies. So one of the things that she recommends is she says to do 2 days of cardio a week, all out for 30 seconds using battle rope, sprinting, whatever. I have battle rope, and so I'll be using that. I'll be doing a little bit of HIIT too, because I do feel like maybe a little bit more cardio than just 30 seconds all out will be good. We go on a lot of walks just as a mom, you're constantly walking everywhere. So I'll continue to do lots of walks. And then the other person that I follow is Dr. Lyons, and she talks about eating the right amount of protein for women. She's also a big advocate for creatine for women also. But she says that you need to have 1 gram of protein per ideal body weight. So I'll be trying to eat 135 grams of protein a day. With that protein of 135 grams, I'm going to track all of this through MyFitnessPal. I'm sticking with 1,700 calories right now. I did ask ChatGPT. I let him know my situation, postpartum, all of that stuff, and how much activity I was doing. They said about 1,700 calories for how much I weigh right now. So I'm going to stick to that 1,700 calories. I'm going to focus on eating lots of protein. And then the other thing that I'm going to focus on is eating about 20 to 30 grams of fiber. I'm not going to worry too much about my carbs and my fat. As long as I'm getting my protein and my fiber in, I think, this is my theory, I think that the carbs and the fat will kind of work themselves out. I mean, you can't eat tons and tons of cheese and hit your fiber goal and stay within your calorie limit. Um, and vice versa. Like you can't eat, tons of bread because it's not very high in fiber. So I'm hoping that that still allows me to lose weight so that I don't have to track too many things. And we'll see how that goes. We might have to pivot as time goes on. So then my workouts, I'm going to shoot for 3 to 4 weightlifting sessions. So 3 cardio sessions a week and then 3 weightlifting sessions a week. I can either, do a weightlifting and then a cardio and only work out 3 days a week, or I can split those up and then lift 3 days a week and 3 cardios for 6 days and only have 1 day off. Just being a mom, I need that flexibility. And that's the number one reason why I'm not doing 75 hard. I've done 75 hard in the past, and I think it's great. If you are a person that have kind of constantly let yourself down and said that you were going to do something and then never did it, I think 75 hard is a really great option. I don't think 75 hard is the way to go when you're postpartum. I think that much working out, it's too much on the system. I think for me, at least, when I went really, really hard right after I had a baby, like my body just held on to the weight. Like it was in stress. Like I needed to take a much softer approach to this to actually start losing the weight. And when I stopped working out so much, and when I focused on walking more and focused on, like, I did an ab rehab, like a pelvic floor rehab, and when I focused on those types of things, and also, when I was breastfeeding, I needed to eat over 2,000 calories to keep my milk supply up. And so when I kind of took a softer approach is when I actually started losing weight. So that's the number one reason why I'm not doing 75 hard right now. I'd love to do it, later on when it makes more sense, but just for this piece of it, I don't think that 75 hard is a great option for me. And then just some miscellaneous things that I'm going to do. I have a big green water cup, which is usually right by me, but so I have a big green water cup. It's about 40 ounces. I'm going to have 2 of those a day. I'm definitely going to focus on good sleep. My son is finally sleeping through the night, and so we're getting way better sleep now than we were a little bit ago. I'm going to make sure that I'm taking rest days and really listen to my body, and if everything's just too much, then I am going to take days off. That is a tough thing for me, but I think that it's really, really needed for this phase of life. Like I need time to heal. I do have an Aura ring, so I'm going to be going over that data, just looking at my steps and those kind of things, and making sure that my Aura ring is clocking all of my workouts so that I can keep track of how much zone 2 I'm having, zone 1, that kind of stuff with the cardio. And then, so my measurements, I am 154.5 pounds. I think as I start like drinking more water, I'll probably lose about 2 pounds. That's how it's worked in the past. But I do gain 2 pounds around when I'm going to be having my period. So I'm looking at other markers instead of just my weight. I have my calipers, which I'll show in a video how to use the calipers. I think my caliper was at 12. And then my waist, just below my belly button, I'm at 35. inches right now. I am carrying a lot more weight than I'm used to, around my middle right now. Then my thigh was 20 inches. My arm was 12, I want to say. And so, yeah, we'll just keep doing all of the measurements weekly, weighing in weekly, and giving you an update on where I'm at, and how this is working. Whether it is working, whether it isn't working. There's a video showing my stomach, which took a lot for me to showing my stomach, doing these before and afters and showing my stomach was a big deal for me. I had to psych myself up because it's definitely not something that you particularly want posted on the internet. But I just feel like when I've gone through and tried to really look at what everybody else is doing, there's been a lot of hiding your stomach with compression shorts, and I 100% get that, but I wanted to actually show a good representation of, am I losing the belly weight with this diet, or am I not? Because you can lose weight everywhere else, but the biggest unhealthy kind of fat that you can carry is around your stomach, and it's my biggest insecurity. So I wanted to actually have a video of whether it's changing, whether my skin is kind of tightening up as I lose weight, and what that kind of looks like after you have a baby. I think that there's a lot of gross men on the internet, and they try to make women feel really bad about how their bodies look postpartum. I think that by showing it more and, giving a middle finger to anyone that's going to say bad things about someone's body after they had a baby, I think that that's a really powerful thing. I think that it also allows women just to see the not fun side of having a baby and still be okay with it. So that when, if you're in that position and you're dealing with something that I'm dealing with, that it's normal and that it's not something wrong with you or wrong with your body. And so I really wanted to show my stomach. So I'll be posting videos weekly to kind of go over my progress, and I'm just so excited about starting this. I think sharing it, I wish more women would show their weight and show progress photos. I think there's a lot of stuff that I see that they show after they're already skinny. There's not a lot of videos that's kind of showing the progress and showing what's happening and showing the mundane boringness of actually being on a program. I'll probably eat a lot of the same meals. It's kind of like Groundhog's Day to a certain extent. So I'm excited to show that process. I'm excited to lose the weight. I'm excited to step it up and just, find that piece of me that is somewhere in there after motherhood. I want to integrate those two sides of being a mom and, the person that I was before I was a mom. I definitely don't want to be her again, but I want to have pieces of her and feel like an evolved person, someone that's integrated those two halves of themselves, because I definitely don't always feel like myself, especially because I'm not wearing clothes that I would normally wear. I'm wearing a lot of my big clothes, or I'm wearing a lot of my workout clothes that have a lot of stretch to them. So I think when I can kind of like fit in some of my old clothes again and kind of go through my closet and really determine, like, I have so much stuff that is not going to be okay for a mom life. And so I know I need to go through kind of a style um rebirth, but I don't want to have to buy everything all over. Like, jeans are expensive, skirts, shorts, tees, like all of this stuff. I don't want to have to buy all of that again. I want the staples and the stuff that I've really put a lot of money into. Like, I want those things to still fit. And then we can kind of get some other things to fit with the mom life. And so I'm excited to, that's kind of what I'm thinking about as one of my goals throughout this, is that, once I get the last little bit of weight off, I can go through that process and really fine tune my style again. So thank you so much for watching. If you would like to follow along with this journey, please hit the subscribe button.